Okay.
That broadcast is live. I better tell my team that I'm
Go
live.
ahead and sing us a song, Colette.
I am live.
Live. Broadcast is live.
I'm closing
So,
I have
ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. We are here live today.
Great.
I'm fabulous.
So excited to see you. Hang on a sec. I gotta get. Oh, good.
That's okay. I'll just keep talking because there's going to be a lot of people who won't know who I am, so I have to.
Oh, that's right.
Right on your page and my page. Wait, you look so much taller than I am, and we're the exact same height.
Possible.
Hold on a second.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you don't know who this lady is that I'm with here, Liz Dawn is the most awesome human who is the producer of this fantastic, and I know you guys have all heard of her from Celebrate Your Life. Celebrate Your Life is a particular one of a kind, because really there's nothing
that would do. It's this thing.
It's a spiritual party is what it is, where you get to see speakers and whatever. And I'm super excited. The reason I'm doing it today is because the only in-person event that I will have done in 2 years is actually going to be in Sedona. We're going to talk about it in about 15 minutes or so, but I'm going to Sedona, where I used to live, in November. So
we're going to have some fun. And over here, and most of you know who this is. So by the way, we are broadcasting right now to 8 different channels right now. So some of you might be seeing us on Colette Baron Reid's fan page, or Celebrate Your Life fan page, or the Celebrate Your Life Online Soul Fest page, or the Soul Tribe, or Liz Dawn. It's all over, on YouTube even. We're even broadcasting on YouTube. So we're coming to you from many, many different channels. So if you don't know who I am, as Colette shared with you, I've been creating spiritual events and parties for 26 years. Celebrate Your Life. If you haven't been to one, it's a must attend. They're just awesome, awesome soul fests, and they're fun and juicy and connections and all this fun stuff. And of course, everybody knows who this is. Over here is Colette Baron Reid, New York Times bestselling author. She is a spiritual alchemist and the oracle magician lady. Fabulous. And you know what I did, Colette? I brought all of your cards here. Well, not all of them, but
all 14 decks.
Well, not all 14, but my 3 top. But the one that I don't have is the red deck.
Right, yeah, no problem. Which one you have? Wisdom.
So I've got Wisdom of Babylon cards right here. And then one of my favorite are the
Spirit Animal
Oracle cards. If you guys don't have these, you have to get them. They're amazing. So we're going to talk a little bit about these. And then, well, this is the most gorgeous packaging. I called you and screamed when I got this deck.
It is beautiful.
How gorgeous this is. So,
actually, this morning I got a contact from Russia, is now going to be publishing that deck in Russia now too. So it's pretty exciting. I have 114 foreign opportunities from different countries for all my decks. Yeah, it's really exciting.
I didn't even know there were 114 different countries.
Oh, there are lots. Yeah, my stuff is published in 27 languages. It's really, 27 languages is wild.
I know English and Spanish, and that's it.
Oh, I know how to say "Una mujer bebe café."
There you go. Yes, there you go.
And okay.
Oh, we've got all these people saying hello. Oh, Wendy's here. Wendy, my cousin. Hi, Wendy. And we've got Jennifer and Danielle and Varoshka, and Pam and Becky and Jana and Debbie and Rachel.
And Sally. Who else is in the house? And
we're like doing Romper Room. Do you know what Romper Room is? Colette, I don't know if you know what Romper. No, because you were in. I think it was like an American kind of thing.
Canada is.
You know Romper Room?
It is. You think it's we're next door to you? Of course we know Romper Room. We got all the American stations in Canada.
Like hot cold running water there. Or do you have electricity there too?
Oh my God, you are so bad.
Okay,
Lisa Starr Francis. Whoa. And you have some really interesting people here. Actually, Lisa Starr Francis is the creator of this amazing word alchemy oracle. There's all kinds of really interesting people here that are here today. So
hi, interesting people.
Maria Spain is in the house. Liz Chapman.
Layla's Chapman and Sarah and Donna and Vera.
Vera.
Julie remembers Romper Room. I don't know. Romper Room.
That is my middle name.
Barbie's here. From Canada. This is like the Canadian convention.
I know. I'm in Canada and you are in Arizona.
I know. Arizona. Okay, so let's talk just for a couple of minutes about Arizona. Why don't we do that? So the first time in 2 years, we're both going to be live and in person.
You know, it was interesting when you invited me to do it. Obviously, there's a part of me that was hesitant because of the pandemic. And I'm double vaxxed and all that. And I don't want to hear anybody's opinion on that. Okay. Don't even bother. But we can't leave or come back to the country. In Canada, it's very strict. So I was like, oh, should I say yes? And then I just felt this overwhelming sense of it's going to be okay. No matter what, it's going to be okay. So I said yes, even though we still can't go to the US. I think we can.
Yes.
End of September or something, they moved it again.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's good. It's all good. Yeah. So one thing that I love your events for, and it's intimate. We're at the Enchantment Resort, which I used to do my events there years and years ago.
Wait a second. What? You love my events? Tell me more.
About loving your events. Okay.
I'm totally kidding.
I'll tell you why I love your events. When your mom was alive, who was really this person who spearheaded all of this, you know, your whole family, it made it a family affair. It was something that I've never seen anybody else do, which is to gather speakers together, who all get along. It seems that you managed to get us all together, and I'm coming also so I could see John Holland, so I could see
Sonia Choquette and Sunny.
Who's coming in from Paris, and Sunny. These are all people I genuinely love. But it's this kind of it's a community experience. So it's less of a conference than it is a deeply moving entire weekend. What would we say? An intimate yet big but small. I don't know. It's
going to be a lot smaller. Have any of you out there been to a Celebrate Your Life event? Has anybody ever been to one of our conferences or women's summits or any of the retreats? I'm looking at the comments right now. So
sure they have.
Here it is in a nutshell: is we bring together some of the greatest the greatest spiritual teachers of our time in one place, in one space, for an entire 4-day retreat. This is one of our retreats. So this is one of the big conferences. This is more of a retreat. It's more intimate. We're only taking 150 people max this year, if that. We typically take 325 people for this one. And that's actually small because our conferences are anywhere from 1,500. Yeah, they're really big. So this is a small, intimate experience. And what happens is that when you step into the space, especially when we start on Thursday night, we'll be doing a ceremony. We'll have a Native American medicine man there, and he'll be doing a ceremony. You have a Ukwala? How did you know?
Oh, I knew Ukwala when I lived in Sedona.
I love Ukwala.
He is a lovely human. He's incredible. Yeah, he's a Havasu.
Yes,
he's from the
Havasu. Down in the canyon. Anyway, so when you come, you get to experience all these great teachers for intensive workshops all throughout the entire weekend. We feed you. The food is always good because I'm really compulsive about making sure there's vegan, there's gluten-free, there's carnivore eating, there's salad, there's this, there's everything. I'm a foodie. Colette knows that. So if you're interested, it's in November. It starts on November 4th.
Does it?
November 4th.
Right.
You're going to be there. Shake your head, that's Colette.
That's right. I already bought my airline ticket.
Yes. Oh, Hope. Thank you. She says, Sea Rail is amazing. Just go to the website. It's celebrateyourlife.com. It'll be on the homepage. You can do /Sedona21. Check it out. It's such a fantastic, fantastic program. And half of it's the speakers. And I have to tell you, the other half is really the community and the people that you meet. And look at that little scrunchy face. Oh my gosh. She's
I
so
don't
cute.
want her to bark because Tinkerbell is barking in the other room and I don't know why. So, and she will go bananas. Yeah. And that is the truth. It is the intimacy of it. And it's very relaxed. So that's the other thing. It's not like you're running around, although like Sonia Choquette's very, she's like, it's so fun to be in a workshop with her and she gets you dancing. And then there's basically something for everybody
Yeah.
in one of these events. And your lineup this year is fantastic. You've got Matt.
Well, yes.
You've got Dr. Sue Morter, who I love. She spoke at my mastermind.
Yeah, energy healing. But the theme of this year's event, and you know this, Colette, but for everybody watching, the theme of this year's program is mystics, miracles, and magic. And it's the first time in 26 years I've actually selected a theme for a Celebrate Your Life retreat. Yeah. Because we've gotten so overwhelmed with all the world's dramas and all the mishigas and the chaos.
The
mishigas, exactly. You understand that.
Mishigas.
So we're stepping into this magical, mystical place. And Colette, you're going to be teaching all about oracle cards.
Yes, I am.
And then,
importantly, I'm teaching people how to use oracle cards to get evidence that the universe knows you intimately and that you will see the magic in the 3 hours that I'm presenting. You are going to ignite the magic. I'm taking you through deep meditative practices to like really cool vision journeys. We're working with the cards. We're blending the two together. And if you don't have a psychedelic experience from those 3 hours with me, I don't know what's true. But you will get proof, because a lot of times we forget that we have this inherent connection to the universe, and the universe is always trying to talk to us. And that's what the oracle cards are for. So we're going to show you how to have that dialogue with the divine.
I'm excited. I do this because I want to spend time with all the speakers and I want to go to all these workshops. That's why I do this. And Margaret says, I'm surprised it isn't sold out yet. We are actually more than halfway sold out. So we do still have some tickets left. I would recommend you getting in there.
You're almost 3/4 full, right?
Yeah.
You're
I think we've got about 20, 25 tickets still left. But it's the hotel rooms that we sell out of really, really, really quickly, and they're almost sold out. Like,
I hope you fix that for me.
Yes, we'll get it for you. I know. So join us.
Yeah, why don't we have some fun and do some readings for? And I do want to. Maybe I can explain a tiny bit about some of the decks that you have, so that they know what the difference is between them. So oracle cards, like people say, oh, I'll talk about spirit animal because that's very important to me. So my father, so I grew up with obviously parents, and I had a Scottish nanny who was a Highlander from Scotland, and she was already in her 80s. Her name was Mrs. Kelly. And she taught me that every single creature, even flowers in the backyard, had a presiding spirit. So she would tell me everything was alive. That was my nanny. But when my dad taught me how to read Turkish coffee cups when I was, like I think 12 or 13. Anyway, my father also, he was Serbian, and my great-grandmother, his grandmother, was from Mongolia, and she came over from Mongolia to Serbia in the mid 1800s because my father's family were horse traders, and Mongolia was famous for their horses. So that culture, plus if you know anything, and a lot of people don't know much about the Slavic traditions or the Serbian traditions, which was very interesting because they kept a lot of their pagan beliefs, and animism is one. So even though they had Christianity come in the 10th century, my father taught me about animism, and that is a worldview, and that has nothing to do with indigenous people or shaman or whatever. It just so happens that's a worldview that all of them share. So I am an animist. And what that means is that I believe that there is a presiding spirit even over a blade of grass. I believe that everything is animated, and it's not anthropomorphic. So for me, spirit animal was a gift back to my dad, really, because it was what he taught me. And we included because we're a global, we are global, we included animals from different continents. But ultimately, actually in this, I don't know if you know this, on my dad's side, but there is articles all about how ancient Serbs believed that we were descended from wolves. So it is in our DNA. Yeah. And a lot of people don't know that about me, about my ancestry. And of
I
course,
mean, I've known you a long time and I've never heard this. And I didn't know about the tea leaves or tea cups.
no, Turkish coffee cups.
Turkish coffee.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
because
so interesting.
my dad, so the Turkish coffee was what we had every Sunday. My parents would have it. And my father taught me how to read the grounds of the cups. So I never learned how to use tea leaves. Weren't interesting because that wasn't our tradition. It was a
Right.
tradition in my dad's family was to read the Turkish coffee cups. So he taught me how to see the symbolic imagery of animals and other, symbols that we would know from that environment and what they would mean. And so that was how I learned about oracles firsthand. First was from my dad, but earlier than that, from my Scottish nanny, Mrs. Kelly, who read playing cards. So she was a psychic. And oh my God, yeah. So I come to this.
I did not know this, Colette.
Great.
I did not know this.
Well, you
Okay,
know about my Jewish side. You know about my mom.
I know about the whole Jewish thing.
You know that side, the Poland and the Sephardic Jew on my mother's side, exactly. But you didn't know this about where I really get it from is from my dad. So it's very meaningful to me. But Wisdom of Avalon, which is what you had first, was my very first deck.
I love this deck. I love them all.
And what I loved about that, I had read a book called The Mists of Avalon, and I had gone to Glastonbury, England. And even though I don't have a British bone in my body, I felt like I belonged there. I know it was the strangest thing. It's like I felt so connected, but there really is a commonality between when you go back into the ancestry of the Slavs and how they believed very similar things as the ancient Celts and the, in that part of the world, certainly in ancient Britain. So it was really that I loved that book. And so Avalon I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed
with something. No, not
so that was that deck. Anyway, so those are the two decks you're going to play with. And obviously we're setting you up because we're going to do a few readings here.
We're going to do a few readings.
And I'm going to use
wait a second. I have to tell you what Veroshka's saying here. She's saying my aim. This is such a great idea, Veroshka. My aim is to have 12 of Colette's decks, one deck for each month of the year. And she's halfway there. Isn't that cool? I love that, to change the decks out every month.
Yeah. Well, interesting. I'm doing a new deck. Actually, I did the first deck, Wisdom of Avalon, with Gary Lippincott. He was and then I met Jenna de la Gratalia. She was a makeup artist actually at the time, and I found her on a thing called Deviant Art. So she and I connected. Yeah. And we've done all these decks together. And now we're kind of doing solo projects. She's become like my sister and one of my best friends. So she's going to do her own decks right now, a couple decks. And I'm going to do a couple decks with some other people. And then we're going to get back together, the band will get back together in a couple decks. But I met this awesome Japanese illustrator, incredible artist named Joel Nakamura. So he's doing my next deck called the Dreamweaver's Oracle. And then I'm doing a tarot deck. I'm doing a traditional tarot deck called Wisdom of the Tarot. And then I'm going back together with Jenna, and we're going to do another deck together. She's got a couple of great decks coming out, and I'll be helping her with that. Okay,
so Joy has said, please, can I get a reading? Joy, let's get specific.
Yeah. Can I tell them what to do? Can I tell them?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Tell you.
All right. So I'm not going to look because I know some of you here. So I'm going to actually turn my comments off on my end. What I'm going to do is have Liz pick you by putting her finger down and just grabbing somebody. What I would like you to do, if you want a reading, like a card pull, just say, I'd like to know about this subject. So I want to know about my marriage, or like my marriage is falling apart. I want to know something, or I'm changing jobs. I want to know something, or just make it really simple and easy for us. Then what I'm going to do, believe it or not, Liz is going to pull a card for you. And then I am going to take over. Okay.
Not that I really know what I'm
No,
doing.
she's
Okay.
gonna pull, like, as if you guys are
Totally playful time. It's
we're
playtime.
just having fun. So, but be really specific, okay? Be really, and don't ask yes or no questions, and don't ask, yeah, just do that. Let's have fun. Let's
Okay.
have fun.
Okay. Oh, there's so many questions coming in. Okay. Okay.
So just put your finger on one.
All right. All right.
We're gonna wait a couple seconds to settle down, everybody. I'm gonna put a
Okay. Here, do you want to know the name of the person?
Huh?
Do you want to know the name of the person?
Just give me the name of the first name and the question that they asked.
Okay. So Cindy is asking, I would love to know if a relationship is coming in my near future.
Okay. So that's a yes or no question. We're not going to answer that. However,
well, but I know right away the minute you said it.
But here's the deal. What we're going to do now is change that. We're going to say, what do we need to know about your personal life and how it's unfolding? That's better, as opposed to yes or no, because we're not going to answer yes or no questions. Okay.
Yes or no. No, yes.
I never do yes or no. I think that prevents you getting really good information. So
I should know that about you.
Yeah, yes or no questions are not good.
Okay, so do we want to rephrase it?
I already just did.
Okay, so this is for Cindy.
Yeah, Cindy. Does Cindy have a last name? Since Cindy won't, there might be 10 Cindys on here.
But Cindy knows which one. Cindy,
okay,
do you want to know who it is?
Okay, I'm picking a card. You go fast. You're getting too slow. Okay, I'm going to start. Never mind.
No, do you want me to go? I'll go.
I'm going. I'm going because you got the best card in the deck for a relationship.
Yeah.
You got Loyal Heart. And what did you get?
I got Letting Go, because I'll explain why I got this one. And I know why I got this one for Cindy. I got it right away when she said her name.
Okay, good. So, all right. So let me tell you what this is. So Loyal Heart means that this is a person that would never betray you. And this is a person that would enter into your life that you would feel safe with, because Loyal Heart is, you would feel that sense of connection to that person. That person would be loyal to you. But it's also, it is the two birds together. This is like lifetime partner. Yeah. And go ahead if you want to say something about that card, but.
Well, I got immediately, even when you asked the question, because relationships are kind of my thing, because on my little side gig is I teach about relationships and dating and how to find the love of your life, blah, blah, blah. But what I got right away was, and this confirmed it, this says letting go, the sword journey markers. So if you look at this one, letting go, what I got right away is that the old paradigm in which you've been doing things in relationships and the way you've been choosing your partners, whether it's a man or whether it's a woman, Cindy, the way you've been doing it you have to change the way you've been doing that. So not looking at it like through those rose-colored glasses and taking off the rose-colored glasses and being more realistic about the kinds of partners that you are choosing, and look at the pattern that you've had over and over and over and again and break those patterns. So you've got to let go of the old ways of doing things.
So I'd like to add to that, because just telling somebody to break the pattern is much more about letting go your story around this. Like, I'm victimized. I'm always picking persons like this. I always feel like this. I never feel like that. Da, 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 da. That's a narrative that we tell ourselves, and that becomes the pattern. So how you break the pattern is to address the way you're telling the story, because then it decides that's how you either magnetize or repel what you say you want. Let's pick another one.
What she said.
Yeah, what I said.
Okay.
Another person. And by the way, when we do a reading for somebody, we could be doing a reading for you too, and you don't know it. So you go, oh my God, that's the question. That speaks to me. That's called a Cledon. And in my Oracle Circle membership, we say that all the time in there. It means it's an innocent oracle. We could be talking to Cindy, but you're sitting there going like, oh my God, that's the right answer for me. So that's why we love to do this in groups, because you see us do it for you, and then you get something out of it. Okay, let's do another one.
Okay.
We're going to do about 10 of them.
All right, Donna, ready?
Yep.
What can you tell me about my future as a channel?
Oh, okay. So
Am I going first or are you going first?
you go first.
Oh, I love this card. It's so, I don't know that I've ever seen this card before, probably because I've never pulled it. I pulled from the animal deck, and it is the rhino, overcoming any obstacle. The artwork is just stunning. Overcoming any obstacle.
I know, isn't it gorgeous? We had Jen and I talked about making it really playful and beautiful. So overcoming the obstacle, that's great. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
add.
you go.
Yeah. So I love that you pulled the rhino spirit, because when channeling is something that you have to allow, and the ego construct typically wants to take credit for doing it. And that can actually prevent you from really feeling like channeling is when you are divested of yourself. It's like you become selfless temporarily and allow the thing to come through. I believe you need a leg up. A leg up is the card here, which is about a mentor. So a mentor, a class you could take. You could become that yourself down the road, but I feel that you have more. You have to let people help you right now. I think that's part of it, and you're going to flourish. I have a really good feeling about you, a lot.
Donna, we're going to come to you for readings. Okay. Ooh, Tara Jack is here. Tara Jack is here, who made these gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous malas, and she's saying that you look fabulous.
Oh, I want one.
Gorgeous. We have to get.
Was Tara the one that came with those bracelets? Was that the same girl?
No, which bracelets? You're not talking about the tie. You're talking.
Yeah, I don't know. One point, I think she's made jewelry at your place before when you had the people coming. Wasn't she there?
Yes, Tara's been here with us a lot.
Yeah. I think I bought something from her once. Yeah. Okay, let's do this again. You pick one for Tara. You just saw her. You called her name out. You may, if she asked.
Tara, did you ask a question?
If not, get to somebody else right away.
I was the one at the diamond necklace you loved. That's what it was. Okay. So Tara, let's have a question. So Tara, I think your question is going to be about career. Tara's question is definitely going to be about career.
Why don't I just pull a card and you look for another person right away?
Okay.
All right. And you look for, this is great. So Tara, you got co-create. So this is a partnership with spirit, partnership with the universe, to remember that you're not doing this by yourself, that the opportunities will come when you start owning them in advance. But also just intuitively, I'm getting that there's a business partnership coming in. It could be somebody going to invest in you or invest in your business, etc. It just feels that there is more of you, that people helping you and getting this off the ground in a way that you feel has a bigger flow than it is right now, because it feels like you've had to go on a detour. But this is very good. And you're going to get all kinds of great new ideas. Feels like you're going to launch a type of a line, like a line of stuff. But it's really good. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So Monica is asking, and I'm going to ask the question, and you can decide if you want to switch it. Yeah. I need information on a medical decision regarding medication change I need to make soon.
I won't answer that question at all.
Yes,
I never answer those kind of questions. So it's unethical for me to answer a question like that. And also, you're giving your power over to somebody outside of you around medical things. I'm very much against that. And that's a decision you have to make. You have to trust your own inner guidance. I don't answer questions like that. Let's pick another one.
Okay. Let's look about Sharon. She wants to know if her incense business will take off. That's okay. Sorry.
So we're going
to know about her incense.
Know about your incense business. Let's take a look.
Yes, that's for Sharon.
You pick a card first, and I'll pick one.
Oh, okay, hold on. I need to shuffle. Hold on. No, that's not the right deck. Oh, okay. Love it. I got Hawk Spirit. Let Spirit be your guide.
Yeah, and that's also phone calls, communication. You're waiting for something. You're waiting to hear about something, etc. This is also very interesting. So you also got a leg up. This is, again, either somebody coming to help you get this off the ground. It's not you alone. It's like you get placed somewhere, or you put it becomes in some kind of a gift box. I'm not sure exactly how that is, but your incense business will take off when it becomes a part of something else also. So it could be it could be somebody famous on Instagram loves it and sticks your thing on. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Somebody outside of you helping it take off.
I love that. Oh, Jennifer, to answer your questions, we are streaming live on 8 different platforms right now. That's why you're not seeing all of the comments. We're on 8 different platforms.
I have no idea what's happening.
I know, like people are going, where are they seeing these questions? We're on 8 different platforms right now.
So what's be cool is if we get feedback from you guys once we've given you the reading, if that makes sense to you.
Yes, I love that. Okay, Lisa. Lisa is asking about, what do I need to know about my path going forward with my career and or schooling?
Okay, great. What do I need to know? That's good.
I got it.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, you take the lead, Stag Spirit. So here's what's interesting. You don't rest. So you have time for a nap. You have to have better time management is what it's saying. And I like By the Book because this is about education, and this is about either you becoming the educator or you needing some more education to give the foundations a better, more stronger foundation. But I just thought that was very interesting that you have to watch that you don't burn out. It's really important. But I like this card. It always tells me that you're following in the right footsteps. I guess that's the best way I could say it. And that having some structure that you learn from other people, from, institutions, from, like mentors or whatever it is, will really help you move this forward.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do one more? You want to do a couple more?
Do a couple more.
Okay. So Chanel is asking, this is a great question for you.
Okay.
I would love to know how I can strengthen my belief in self around launching my spiritual business.
Ooh.
Love that question.
So self with a capital S or self with a small s?
This absolutely just fell out of the deck.
I love it. Buffalo Spirit, abundance is yours. Abundance is yours. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I got the Observer card. So it's not to take anything personally. It's really important that you step back and realize that this is yours, but it's like owning the abundance in the advance of seeing it. It's like really knowing that you are doing the right thing and that if you build it, they will come. And I really feel that energy with you is if you build it, they will come. And I do feel that you're not going to buy into the whole, you have to be very careful not to buy into the whole, I'm going to build my brand on social media thing. You're going to build your brand because you want longevity and a legacy from your business. And that means a lot of word of mouth from people who are genuinely have a connection to you, and it will go quite quickly for you. So, but always step back and don't take it personally and don't do what everybody is doing. That's the other thing.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be good.
Okay. Lori is asking, what do I need to know about family issues? Please and thank you.
You pick the card first.
Oh, interesting. I was drawn to doing the wisdom.
Yeah. Sorry, it keeps going in my eyes. I was sitting in the sun all day. That's why I'm so tanned.
It's beautiful. Okay. Whoops.
Oh, that's really beautiful. That's seeing the best in other people. And that the Grail Knight is about that romantic, but also not to have any illusions. So for me, you got Unfinished Symphony. This is for me that there's a lot of unfinished business in the family. So the family dynamics are what you're looking at. And that's all about boundary setting, right? It's about setting appropriate boundaries and remembering to radically accept other people as they are. You cannot change them. You can't change anybody but yourself. It's like accepting where another person is in their journey, which is difficult when it comes to family because family is closest to us, right? So, but you can do it. And that's what the cards are saying.
Beautiful. Okay, so Stephanie wants to know, I would like to know if my spiritual gifts fully come back as I'm reopening my channels.
Great.
Stephanie wants to know.
Well, that's a yes or no question, but I'm going to say, what do we need to know about you reopening your channels? Okay. Pick a card. Ooh.
I got Rhino Spirit again.
Yeah, the obstacle is in your perception. That's great. Rhino Spirit is all about obstacles and the perception of obstacles. Remember, when we see a perceived obstacle and we think like, I had to shut it down because I couldn't handle it. I'm too empathic, or blah, blah, blah. And we create a story around our inability to manage energy, for example, right? Which is what you need to do. I have go the distance, which is great. So yes, you're going to have, as long as you stick with it, and also remember that you are a very unique way of connecting to spirit, and boundaries are not just with people, it's with the energies too. So you have to remember your boundaries are sacred. And as you move back into this world, you decide how much or how little you can process.
Oh, I love that. So many of you are asking all of these important life questions. And very honestly, Colette and I have been talking about, we're getting back to doing live programs. And for the first time in 2 years, her first live event ever will be taking place at the Celebrate Your Life Sedona retreat.
I'm excited.
I know, along with John Holland and Matt Kahn, and Sonia Choquette is flying in from Paris.
And Dr. Sue Morter.
And Dr. Sue Morter, Matt Kahn.
Johnson. Oh, sorry. And you, yeah, and us, and me. And it's true. It's like, this is the first event I've genuinely done. This will be 2 years since I've done it in an in-person event. So I'm excited about it. And I feel that it's very sacred. I think that I thought probably cry. We've all been very impacted in so many ways, from the pandemic, from the largest social justice movement, from all that pain and suffering that we saw. There's been a big reckoning in the past year and a half. And I feel that these events can bring us back together again, and so that we can remember a little bit more and remember what it's like to be around other people doing something meaningful instead of, being in places where we feel polarized. So that's the one thing that's so great about these events. We don't talk politics. We don't talk religion. We don't talk hot button issues. What we do is, and we're not bypassing anything, but what we do is we have a retreat, and we have a place where we can play and we can find different ways to connect to spirit. Sue Morter comes at it from a more of a scientific, spiritual perspective.
Energy healing.
Energy healing is pretty amazing. I come to it through oracles and a way for you to connect to and you're in Sedona. That's the best place on the planet because it's a big portal there. I know. I lived there for 5 years.
I know. So if this resonates for any of you, please come join us. Colette will be there. I'll be there. John Holland will be there. I just said all the names before. Just go ahead and check out the website. It's at celebrateyourlife.com. Just celebrateyourlife.com. It's going to be in November, the first part of November. And I know that when people, and this sounds so salesy, but it's really the truth. I get to read thousands and thousands of feedback forms over the 26 years we've been doing this. And the same thing I hear over and over again, that there's nothing like being together in person.
Yeah.
And it's just transformational. The friends that are made, the connection, the secluding ourselves for 4 or 5 days from the outside world into the magical, mystical of the woo-woo, of the unseen, of the magical world. So yeah, so come and join us. Take a look at the website, see if it resonates for you. So I hope you'll be there. Charlie, you came in Chicago. Thank you. So great. Yes.
So I want to pull a card for everybody as we, are we going to do one? Yeah.
If you want to. Yeah.
So I'm going to pull a couple cards. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. So, you know what's really cool? We kind of concluded with soulmates, which is interesting. So, whenever we go into these events, you know, you end up with lifelong friendships sometimes. I mean, that's kind of true. But besides the event, let's just talk about us here today. We are entering into a new life, and new life requires us to say the words, I don't know, and to step into the uncharted. You know, we don't know how to fly yet, we don't know how to walk, we're learning. And so I guess that the comment that I have for everybody is we need to stay curious, because the opposite of judgment is curiosity. And so if we do that, then we go with the flow. And if we do that, then our foundations, the foundations that we build our lives from, are solid, even though we're in very unpredictable, uncertain times. Our internal world does not have to be that. So thank you for inviting me.
Oh, this is so
I
fun.
gotta go because I
know you've got things to do and places to be and people to
I
see.
have to take Coco to the vet.
Oh,
Yeah, she got a little bit ear problems. I have my baby. I have 3 little Pomeranians. These are my children.
and they're so cute.
And yeah, so I hope you guys would be interested and come and check it out. And if not, we'll see you another time.
Yes, absolutely. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging with us today.
Thanks.
Bye. And for those of you that didn't get the website address here, I'm going to go ahead and put that into the comments for those of you who would like to go ahead and check out the information. It's at celebrateyourlife.com. I'll go ahead and put this in the comments. /Sedona21. All right, so it's celebrateyourlife.com if you can't remember the /Sedona21. And I hope to see you all there, meet you in person, and thank you so much for joining us. Mwah.